That's, I appreciate that they don't want to have to do that work, but we need it in the case.
Yeah, they've called me and told me.
Tell them to call me.
Well, why don't we make a note, make me a note, and I'll make sure and, all right, you're Jameldrin Willridge? Speak up.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and Mr. Willridge is on probation in 3 cases. We've got 1828.
Deep, a serious male voice, slower pace, intense and tone, dramatic pauses, rising tension, seriousness.
7-3 on probation for aggravated assault causing serious bodily injury. 18-28744 on probation for aggravated assault causing serious bodily injury. And then 18-30139 on probation for aggravated robbery. Mr. Lewis has filed a motion asking that I set bonds on Mr. Willridge's cases. At this point, they're all no bonds. They are deferred probation, so typically he would be entitled unless I make certain other findings. And so, Mr. Lewis, you may proceed.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Willridge, best you can, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Okay, go ahead.
Judge, as far as Mr. Wilge in regards to these bonds on the MPRPs, Judge, he is currently on bond for the new case. I don't think there's any additional pretrial conditions or anything on that bond yet. Of course, he's more than willing to comply with whatever pretrial conditions that the court deems is appropriate in the circumstances. He has been or will be in the home or care of one of his parents, either mother or father, during the course of this case. He has complied as well as he can or could be until the conditions of not only the case and bond, as the court is aware, as soon as it was made clear that he needed to turn himself in, he got himself in as soon as possible. He's not avoiding or running from the situation. He wants to try to get it worked out and resolved as soon as possible. At this time, the financial responsibility of that will be on his parents, as he is still seeking long-time, full-time employment. So we do ask that the court to consider that as well, for that obligation. He is, like I said, more than willing to comply with whatever conditions that the court will put on him as far as any monitoring or drug patch or anything of that nature, for the court to feel comfortable while he's on bond. And of course, we'll work as soon, as fast as we can to try to come to some resolution to this situation, Judge. So we're just asking for bonds to be set that are reasonable from Mr. Woolwich and his family to be able to make while we get this worked out.
PSI, I feel like that's in my email, huh? You sent me, what did you find? Who found that the other day when we were talking about this that I had,
Okay, let me,
I can look up my email right here. Hold on. Because it would be from you, right?
correct.
Let me make sure I have everything in front of me. Well, if you did, it might be in one of the other ones. Hold on. You might have. Let me keep looking. Thank you. I don't know. It could have been in one and not the other.
I probably would have done the very first one. But I may not have, Judge.
Strong authoritative female voice, firm and tone, slow and clear delivery, commanding presence, final judgment style.
What day was that? Thursday? That we were all talking?
It was Friday.
Oh, did you send it to my personal, maybe?
Do you need me to go get a copy?
I know I have hers. I was just gonna see if mine had my notes on it from back then, but,
It didn't. No, ma'am, I didn't have an old one.
It didn't.
Jody had to send me.
Okay.
There were no notes on, but I didn't have an old one.
okay,
Or somebody.
There were multiple co-defendants in that underlying.
Yes.
Judge, and the court will recall from our discussion last week. amongst all of us, that the age of the new case is due to it being codicil.
Speak up, I'm
The
sorry.
age of the
Can
new
y'all hold it
case
down, please?
Is due to it being a codicil.
Right.
That's why you see the discrepancy in the offense stated.
So the main allegation in the motion to revoke in all three of these cases is that there is an allegation that Mr. Willridge committed the new offense of burglary of a habitation, which was from August 29th of 2024. And what Ms. Malfino is reminding me of the age of that case, because it's old. I had wondered why, and that was because of a CODIS hit,
Right.
because of fingerprints potentially found inside that apartment. So I have, I'm taking judicial notice of the court's file. It does include that administrative hearing that the probation department sent over. As part of that, they do send what they have with regard to the new underlying offense. So I do have the report, or the investigation report, with regard to that burglary of a habitation from November of 2024. In addition, I've got the original pre-sentence report as well with regard to all three of the cases that he's on probation for. So, I keep getting that. Ms. Malfino, do you have any questions of Mr. Willridge?
I do not, Judge, I would just ask the court also to take notice of our conversation. Thank you for taking notice.
And I appreciate, I know there's a relationship potentially, but I've got some
No, I understand.
some big concerns. Mr. Willridge, after he was placed on probation in 2020, had some issues in 2023 while he was on probation, and was given an opportunity to go to ISF. And that was at the end kind of 2023 is what my understanding is, which means, I don't know when you got out of ISF, but it had to be the very end of 2023, if not 2024. And then we've got this new offense alleged from August of 2024. Obviously, he hasn't been found guilty of that offense, but I've reviewed the report and the potential evidence that I've seen. I mean, the reason we got a CODIS hit is because of some fingerprints that were found inside of an apartment. And that, hold on, I was gonna look at something else. The underlying offense and all three of these are extremely concerning. The first two from December of 2017 are at a party and you got a gun and you end up getting into some issue with people and somebody gets shot with your gun. Whether it was intentional or not, you were intentionally at the party, you had the gun, you shouldn't have. And then the next year, I guess while that's pending, there's an aggravated robbery where you and some buddies go into a house to rob someone. Apparently it's the wrong apartment, but you'll still decide to rob him at gunpoint and pistol whip him. And you were given an opportunity on probation. Then you had some issues on probation and I sent you to ISF. Then you get a new felony.
Comp, professional male voice, a clear and steady tone, medium pace, a courtroom documentary style, neutral emotion, slight authority.
Offense of burglary of a habitation. So, at some point, Mr. Willridge, I've got to do what I can to keep people safe from you and your buddies and whoever else, whatever's going on, because you're not doing the right thing. And I appreciate that you have a family and your mom and your dad and people who are willing to help you, but they can only do so much if you're not going to do for yourself. And you have been given a whole lot of opportunities. So based on that, because they're deferred probations, I'm going to grant the motion to set bonds in these cases, but I'm going to set bond in each case at $100,000. A condition of those bonds, if you make those bonds, are that you will be required, I need to know the address of where you will be living. It will either be with mom or dad, period. I need to know that because you will have a GPS monitoring device on that will require you also to be on house arrest at wherever that is, which means you cannot leave home except to come to court or visit with your attorney without my permission. So if you need to go to the doctor or if you need to do certain things, you're going to have to ask permission to go to those things before. Do you understand? Another condition is going to be that you would wear a drug patch at all times. And so if you make those bonds, you'll have to have a drug patch put on within 24 hours. Obviously, if it tests positive, those bonds will go back up. Or I can find that you shouldn't even be entitled to a bond and you would have a no bond. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. You can go back with the bailiff. I'll reset it for an announcement.
Thank you, Judge.